become available in the UK for the first time. They say that there are huge health risks linked to the diet that sees patients fed through a tube. Our health correspondent Thomas Moore reports.
I can't force this down. You're going to swallow this down.
In hospital, feeding tubes keep people alive. This woman, too embarrassed to be identified, is using hers to starve.
I'm just going to pass this very gently over your nose.
Maria will be drip-fed 130 calories every day, a diet so extreme that over the 10-day regime she'll lose almost 2 stone. In her first treatment, she dropped 2 dress sizes. Now she's back for more.
I've lost 7 inches from my stomach area and 5 inches from my hips. My natural body weight would be about 61 kilos, so I've got another 20 kilos to lose. So I've basically got 2 more cycles. So if you think about it, to lose over 5 stone in weight would take me 3 months, and that's quite remarkable.
This hospital consultant is the first in Britain to offer the Ken diet. The slow feeding of pure protein keeps hunger at bay and forces the body to burn up fat stores. He only treats overweight patients, but controversially in America, brides have seized on the quick fix. The diet is short, the wedding photos are forever. It's not a fad doctors want in Britain.
Ken is not about treating thin women to make them thinner so that they can fit into their grandmother's wedding gowns. What we offer is a simple tool over 10 days producing rapid, sustainable, selective fat loss over 10 days that will help people along the path to maintaining that weight.
But dietitians are horrified. They say feeding tubes can dislodge, the diet could cause kidney damage, and the weight will just pile back on once the treatment stops.
There is no quick solution to weight loss. It has to be sustainable. We advocate £1 to £2 a week, and that is weight that in the long term you can really keep off and have the health benefits. Better blood glucose control, better for your heart.
Maria wants faster results, and her doctor insists tube feeding is a safe and highly effective way of trimming the obesity epidemic. Thomas Moore, Sky News.
Well, joining us now is the dietitian and nutritionist Nicole Berberian, who is also a special advisor on the Channel 4 programme, The Food Hospital. Lovely to see you, Nicole. In the scale of extreme diets, this is pretty extreme, using a nasogastric tube. How risky is it, do you think?
It's a medical intervention procedure, which means there's ethical reasons why you need to consider doing this at all. Even we use this for patients in hospital, and when we do that, even then, they really need it. They could be very malnourished, but we're weighing up the risks of giving them this nasogastric tube with the benefits that we need to have, that we're looking at. There are risks. There's a potential risk of getting the tube going down the wrong place, maybe going into your lungs. It could become dislodged. The feed can then sort of back up and go into the lungs and cause pneumonias. It's not something we would see for free-living people who don't have a good reason to do it.
But as we saw the example in that piece by Thomas, is it ever a good idea for anybody to have something like this?
What we're looking in these conditions is very low-calorie diets, and this is just another method of delivering that very low-calorie diet. We've got the shake diets, the low-calorie diets. They work in pretty much the same way, where you can take shakes, you can get those over the counter. They're reduced risk from the point of view of the delivery method, but any low-calorie diet is something that has got potential risk. If there's any underlying heart conditions or it's taken in the long period, that's when the risk could increase. You've got gallstones risk increasing. And generally, the most important thing with any low-calorie diet is any rapid weight loss causes muscle loss. It's something that you can't do too much about. When you lose your muscle mass, that's when your metabolic rate comes down, your speed of processing. So that means that you just don't need as much food, and when you start to eat, you get rapid weight gain.
Indeed, so that's the thing, isn't it? When you lose weight rapidly, you're then just as likely to put it on again rapidly, aren't you?
That's right. What the dietitian mentioned on that package was that for a diet to work, it needs to be effective. You need to get the result you want. It needs to be sustainable. You need to be able to keep it up for a long period of time. Otherwise, you are going to rebound, and it needs to be healthy. So if you're doing something for a long period of time, which is what you need to get that weight loss, you need to know that it's delivering all the nutrients that you need to maintain a healthy body. Otherwise, you're back to square one and there's going to be problems.
I mean, we're looking at this as a new diet, as a bit of a fad, a new thing, but I suppose these kind of extreme diets, as you say, have been around for a very long time, haven't they, in different forms?
They have been around in different forms. There's always going to be something new coming up because it's a novel idea that people just want to try another magic pill, another magic bullet. Is this going to be the way? Unfortunately, there is only one sustainable way of keeping up weight loss, and that is if your energy in is less than your energy out. It's the basic equation, and somehow you've got to maintain that. There's different pathways of doing it. This is one pathway. Is it sustainable? Is it effective in the long run? And is it going to be healthy, providing all the nutrients in the long run?
And also the whole aspect of putting a tube up your nose, and you have to actually keep this on for 10 days. And all the aspects of that in your life. I mean, it's not going to be that easy just to kind of go out and do exercise and all those things that you should be doing to lose weight if you have this thing strapped to your body.
It's not ideal. People presumably are going to feel self-conscious walking around in that situation. It needs to be medically supervised. You need to have checks. You need to check that it hasn't become dislodged, particularly if you're very active. The nasogastric tube, if you cough, could become dislodged, and then the feed could start going, as I said, down the wrong tube, something you really don't want to do. It has risks. It's not something we'd just put in without very careful supervision, and for good reason. Sadly, the bottom line is, if you've got a good time period ahead, particularly for a wedding, and you've got the money to spend on these procedures, personal trainer, very good healthy diet plan, you're going to see results which are going to take you through the honeymoon, not so that you get to your honeymoon and you rebound and won't fit in your bikini again.
Oh dear. It's a simple advice, isn't it? Eat less, exercise more. Nicole, thanks very much.
You're welcome.